Oh, wow. What this is a shocker. Fantastic Four sequel pulled from its scheduled spot on June 2nd, 2017, which was going to be 1 week after Star Wars Episode 8. What a shocker, Ian.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
I mean, after it did gangbusters at the box office, it did $56 million domestically and $167 worldwide on a $120 million budget. Which, if you remember, boys and girls, I'll remind you,
you need to double that.
You got to that movies. The studios only earn roughly half of the box office to begin with.
Right.
Sometimes a little lower. It depends upon the weeks it makes the money. Plus, you got to add a good chunk for marketing on top of that. So they lost tens of millions. Fox making this movie. They lost tens of millions of dollars. This isn't like losing $3 million on the stupid Gem movie. Tens of millions of dollars on what they thought was such going to be a good franchise that they were talking about doing crossovers with the X-Men franchise, which is hysterical to think about.
Holy shit, talk about fucking hubris. I mean, that's insane.
Well, they figured this is what we got left. We don't have Daredevil anymore. We have Fantastic Four and X-Men. Marvel has everything else.
Right.
And X-Men's running out of steam, though. 1 or 2 more movies. Wolverine 3, and then the last X-Men movie coming out in June. And after that, might want to do a TV show, and that's it. Hugh Jackman can't be Wolverine forever. No, he's great as it. So, I mean, not much more to say about this other than I would love to see the director's cut, which is going to have an hour of footage. This is like the new Alien 3 for a new generation. This is the Alien 3 for a generation.
Is it going to be a director's cut? Do you think Trank is just going to disown it and not have anything to do with it?
If you get the Alien 3 extended cut, it even says that this is not the director's cut because, what was that, David Lynch?
Not David Lynch.
Cronenberg. Fincher said didn't want anything to do with it after they screwed with this movie and cut out like 45 minutes of it, 50 minutes, and changed it all around. So I can picture them doing this in 10 years, putting out the Trank version, which had more action scenes and had all the shit in the commercial that you thought was going to be in the movie and wasn't. Extra scenes of Thing attacking like a terrorist camp, and supposedly they had a fantastic car in it, and still probably not a good movie, but at least it had all this other shit in it. Not there anymore. So I don't see them ever doing anything. This has to go back to Marvel. Remember with the Sony leaks a year ago, saying that Spider-Man is going to go back. They're going to go back. It has to. I mean, this is a dead property.
I would say within 3 to 5 years' time, let's just say 3, I think everything will be back under the fold of Marvel.
I'll give it a year. And you're going to do a deal.
The only reason I say 3 is because of what could potentially happen with X-Men in a TV series.
Sure, but look at Spider-Man. It was less than 6. It was 6 months. It was less than 6 months after the movie.
No, believe me, I would.
And that Spider-Man actually made money.
As an X-Men superfan, I would love nothing more than for X-Men to go back to Marvel. But that's the wild card.
The good thing is if they went to Marvel, they can restart all over and redo it with the original 6 characters they wanted to, or
you
do whatever
the
they want.
Actual First Class.
Yes, Ian. The actual First Class. They've kind of screwed with the timeline a lot because now you're going to have 18-year-old Storm and Cyclops somehow in the early mid '80s, which still doesn't really mesh with the timeline. And whatever. And they're going to have a younger Jubilee, even though she shows up in the other X-Men movies in the 2000s. Calmo. The whole point is that you're going to see eventually Fantastic Four. Before Frank's dead, he'll see a Fantastic Four movie he can go to the movie theater and watch. He'll be drooling. I'll be feeding him peas in the wheelchair, but we'll be at the theater watching Fantastic Four.